Alright Shove It Squad, today is a video that I was sure that I'd already made, but it turns out that I didn't. Instead, I wasted 2 hours working on a video that I had actually already made. So, Mark Jindrak can shove it. It can get confusing sometimes. Between having nightmares about slapnuts, having your girl slap my nuts, and making these videos, you can lose track of time. So I told your girl, let's be cordial like lime. The Hawk has a brand new series releasing hopefully later this month, and it's something that will help indie workers, whilst at the same time it's going to help the Hawks one. But seriously, it's something not done before on YouTube, and it'll be completely different to my usual wrestling content. Anyway, enough talking. Today's video was a Patreon request by Tony Mapless. If you want to make the Hawk talk, sign up today. And of course, if you know a wrestler who could do the JOB to the HAWK, shove their name down in the comments, Jack! Alright, it's Haku. Will he make the Hawk spew? Haku is somebody who had bounced between the WWF and WCW during the 90s. He had mostly been used as a tag team guy. Despite his reputation as the baddest man behind the scenes and having a unique look, he had never got much of a singles push, which always seemed strange to me. Haku was the final WCW Hardcore champion for what it was worth, and he left WCW a few weeks before the WWF took over. The timing seemed suspicious. He was the final guy that WWF took away from WCW, but no mention was made of his hardcore belt. Match 1, Royal Rumble match 2001. Haku enters at number 29. The man who was called Meng in WCW is now back to his Haku name. The crowd don't react, but I think this was supposed to be quite a big deal considering how late into the match he enters. It doesn't feel like a big deal though. He goes straight to the Undertaker, at least establishing him as someone who has no fear. He's in there with some pretty big names, but despite that, he's dominated quickly by Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's gone. I'm sorry, but he did nothing here, and the crowd make him look like a nobody. It's an S. Match 2, Raw. The Undertaker with Kane versus Haku with Rikishi. I guess they're together because they're both Island Boyz. Still no fan reaction whatsoever. It is a big brawl to start with. Taker lands the first big shots with a big boot and a leg drop for a 2. Haku can't do anything as Taker slams him and elbow drops him. I think Taker is just diarrheaed in his knickers. Taker goes old school now. Haku hasn't managed a thing here. Taker gets so bored that he heads out the ring to beat up on Rikishi. Haku cannot take advantage in the ring. He tries to throw the Undertaker down, but it's botched and it looks horrible. Haku follows that incredible move up with some falling headbutts. He starts going crazy like he's having an asthma attack and he headbutts the Taker again. Taker looks a bit winded after a throat thrust, but he comes back with a flying clothesline. He also DDTs Haku, but he's up from that quickly. Rikishi distracts Taker during the Tombstone Piledriver, allowing Haku to kick his face off. Rikishi and Kane fight on the outside, but one simple choke slam is enough to put Haku down in just 3 minutes. I know this guy's reputation, but this was just not good. I'm not even trying to be funny here, there was nothing to enjoy. Why bring him back to instantly destroy him? A monster has to look dangerous, but instead you've got Taker fighting off Haku and Rikishi all on his own.
Oh, hell no, man!
Match 3, SmackDown. First Blood Tag Match. The Brothers of Destruction versus Rikishi and Haku. This crazy brawl begins on the outside, but Haku instantly struggles after Taker throws him into the steps. They even have time to double team Rikishi for a while. Haku returns, but can't manage anything. Kane fights him now. You barely even get to see him as the match focuses on what Taker is doing the whole time. Kane hits clotheslines and a big leg drop, which won't bust Haku open. He hits another big boot and then leaves to help out Taker. Haku now finally does something as he super kicks Kane down. The Island Boyz finally have Kane alone in the ring, but it's just all about Rikishi's ass. Taker wakes up and batters Haku on the outside and drills him in the afro of a chair. Haku has been busted open, but the ref hasn't seen it yet. Taker rolls him into the ring, and now the ref sees it. Taker and Kane are bad winners, and they beat them down further. Man, this whole thing is pointless, he's dying out there. Haku even runs away from Undertaker in the end. It's an X. Match 4, SmackDown Tag, Rikishi and Haku versus Too Cool. So it's another match, which is essentially just about Rikishi. Haku joins this match, hit double throat thrust with Rikishi. Haku batters Scotty in the corner and hits a headbutt. He keeps doing his Tongan taunts, which doesn't seem to be able to get a murmur from this crowd. The match breaks down and Haku kicks Scotty in the head. He tries to follow him out of the ring, but the Grandmaster pulls the ropes into his nutsack. Grandmaster Sexay actually has Rikishi beat, but like a dumbass, he breaks up his own pin when he sees Haku on the ring apron. He pays for that poor decision when Rikishi hits the bonsai drop. It's over. Haku just kind of stood around watching the match. Another S, this is horrendous. Match 5, Raw Tag Match. The Hardy Boyz versus Haku and Rikishi. Matt and Jeff both hit dives out of the ring on the big boys. As usual, Haku disappears for a while before he fails to rush the ring. Haku throws a tantrum and starts bashing his own head into the turnbuckles. He catches Jeff Hardy's Persia in motion and launches him out of the ring. That was the best thing in this video so far. Haku also kicks Matt down to get his team a big advantage. Haku goes into a rage and he batters Matt in the corner. He does a Tongan war dance and keeps headbutting him. This is the most dangerous he's looked so far. Rikishi takes over, but he loses the team's advantage. Jeff Hardy has the hot tag and he hits a whisper in the wind on Haku and drop kicks him out of the ring. Jeff swanton bomb Rikishi, but the pin is broken up by Haku's head. That one falling headbutt is then somehow enough to keep Jeff Hardy down for a 3 count. The crowd sound confused, it just didn't look like a finisher. The Hardys are bad losers and they keep fighting Rikishi. Haku continues having a good night as he knocks the Hardys out of a double Tongan death grip. For the first time ever, Haku looked more effective than Rikishi, even if I didn't like the finish. I guess it's a B because it left me wanting to see more of Haku. Match 6, Raw, Tag Title match. The champions are the Dudley Boyz and they take on Haku and Rikishi. Haku will start with Devon Dudley. He actually knocks Haku down first, but then he runs into a scoop slam. Rikishi gets the tag. He wrestles most of this match. Fortunately, Haku does eventually return against Devon. He hits a back suplex and a back breaker before leaving again. Rikishi tags him back in quickly and they double headbutt Devon. Based on the last match, that should be the finish, but no. Haku misses an elbow and Bubba has the tag. Bubba back body drops Haku and clotheslines him out of the ring. The Dudleys are about to get the wood when Haku rushes the ring with a slightly dodgy looking ref bump. They hit the Dudley device on Haku, but no ref. Now Rikishi has it won with a bonsai drop, but still no ref. Taker and Kane, not them again. They rush the ring. The Brothers of Destruction kill the Island Boyz and Kane chokeslams Haku. The ref wakes up and that's the 3. A D? All the progress from the last match feels like it was nothing now. Match 7, SmackDown, 6-man tag. Christian, Haku and Rikishi versus Devon Dudley and Brothers of Destruction. Can we please get rid of them? It goes about as well as could be expected. Haku looks like a complete jobber, by the way. Kane quickly chokeslams him. Then they do a comedy spot where Kane and Devon do the what's up together on Haku's nutsack. At least it's Christians take the loss here, but this is pure destruction by the Undertaker and Kane. Another S. Match 8, Raw, tag match. Are you got to be kidding me? Kane and the Undertaker, again, versus Haku and Rikishi. Leave them alone, Taker. For God's sake, this is bullying at this point. You are menacing these two men. Little did I know, it was going to be even worse than I expected. They fight on the ramp like this is some big stakes unpredictable matchup, but we all know that it's not. Despite that, something new in this match is Haku hitting a drop kick on Taker. He also hits a back suplex on Taker, who looks like he really didn't want to go up for that one. Haku hits the falling headbutt, but it's just a 2 because I guess Taker is tougher than Jeff Hardy. Haku once again starts slamming his own head into the turnbuckles, and it just feels like a waste of time trying to make him look like a badass at this point. Eventually Taker hits a DDT, which is somehow a 2, even though I thought it was Haku's gimmick that he liked smashing his own head. Kane eventually just says screw it and just rushes the ring with a clothesline. Taker simply chokeslams Haku and that's a 3. Kane was not even tagged into this damn match for a second, so it was like a handicap match and Taker still won in 3 minutes. Why, man? Why did they do Haku so dirty? This run is horrible. Yet another S. This match was a disgrace. Match 9, SmackDown, final match, 2-on-1 handicap. Haku and Rikishi versus The Rock. It's the main event too for some reason. Haku desperately tries to impress us, but The Rock throws his face into the mat. Haku no-sells that, so The Rock smacks him down again. Haku is losing, so he tags Big Quiche. It doesn't go much better for him either. After a bit of time, The Rock throws them into each other, which causes Rikishi to introduce a steel chair. The ref is distracted and doesn't see The Rock hit Haku in the head with the chair. He no-sells that and headbutts The Rock down, followed by a falling headbutt. No pin is made, instead Haku performs a traditional dance on top of Rocky. Well, at least they look more effective this time. Haku kicks him in the head and hits another headbutt. Rocky just won't quit though as he battles back for the 3rd time in this match. They just keep swarming him though. Haku looks to sneak up on The Rock now, but he just simply turns around and rock bottoms him for the 3. Was it ever really in doubt? They destroy him after the match like bad losers. They try to force Deborah to smell Rikishi's ass, but they can't even get that right because Stone Cold runs out and kills them both. Haku botches a clothesline falling out of the ring, and that's about it. Game over. A fun main event, but they look so incompetent and it was hard to suspend your disbelief at this point. It's a D. So Rikishi got injured at this point and was on the shelf for quite a long time. Haku remained employed by the WWF for an entire 13 months, but he didn't have a single match on the main show again. He wrestled on the C shows and was even forced to go down to developmental, which just feels a bit absurd. He was employed for the entire invasion angle, and the Hawk actually made a damn fine video about wrestlers who could have featured during the WCW invasion, but the WWF chose not to use them. With the WCW side being so short on talent, Haku could have easily been a scary monster on their team, and it would have made sense too, but I guess they had him buried too deep by this point. Now the Hawk isn't really scared of any man, but I will make an exception for Haku. He'll probably have roast hawk for his dinner if he sees this, but we've got to shove him a final grade. And this was just terrible. They had no plan for him other than a pointless tag team with Rikishi and getting beaten up by the Undertaker time and time again. For the guy who had such a lure around his character and a wealth of ring experience, this was incredibly underwhelming. His matches were mostly bad, and I just think this was a poor fit for him. This is actually up there with the worst short runs I've seen, which is why he's best off being remembered as Meng. WCW did something right. Haku is going in the shove it zone, and if I go missing after this video, let it be known that he smacked me with his massive head until I groan, rip off my eyelashes, chewed on my liver until I quiver, no-sold my Brits the head, and then he finished me and now I'm dead.